So today we're going to start reversing what we've been doing. Before, you were given an equation and you were going to graph it. Today you're going to be given a graph and you're going to write the equation. All right. We've kind of already done this once upon a time, so I don't think today's lesson will be too difficult. All right, couple notes. All right, when writing an equation of a line from a graph, first, you want to find the slope. So you're going to count rise over run, and then you're going to identify the y-intercept, your b, where it's hitting the y-axis. All right, so we got to find slope and the y-intercept. After that, you're going to substitute both m, your slope, and b, the y-intercept, into the equation y equals mx plus b, and you're done. All right, very simple. Now there's those two special lines, our horizontal and vertical. So we have to remember horizontal lines go through the y-axis. So their equation will always be y equals some number. There won't be an x, just a y. So it'll be y equals a number. That number will be whatever the y-intercept is. If it's a vertical line, then it's going through the x-axis. So your equation will be x equals a number. All right, and that number will be the x-intercept, because there probably won't be a y-intercept. In fact, there only will be a y-intercept if it is sitting directly on top of the y-axis itself. All right, so for the x equal vertical lines, we're looking for the x-intercepts. All right, let's start out. Number one, all right, we're going to identify the slope. Now, you'll kind of notice that I don't have specific points on here. So your job is to identify, okay, and I'm going to grab the y-intercept there. And then we're going to follow our line until we hit another corner where it's going through an exact corner. And then from those 2 points, we're going to count rise over run. Now notice I went up, so that was a positive 3. But then I went left 2, so that's going to be a negative 2. So my slope, rise over run, is 3 over negative 2. The y-intercept, b, is positive 3. So once I have those two things, my equation is going to be y equals, now that negative, I'm just going to stick it out in front. So I've got negative 3/2 x plus 3. Y equals mx plus b. Please don't forget the x. All right, without it, you're not writing the correct equation. Number 2. All right, again, use the y-intercept as one of your points, but then we're going to follow the line until we hit through a corner. Okay, so I'm going to count rise over run. I went up 2, so that's a positive 2, and then to the right 1, so that's a positive 1. Rise over run gives me 2 over 1, which is just going to be 2. The y-intercept is up here at positive 1. So the equation is simply y equals 2x plus 1. We're done. All right, box these in. All right, a couple more. Number 3. Again, use the y-intercept as one of your points. And then, let's see, I see going through there. All right, so I'm going to count again, rise over run. So I'm going up 2, and I'm going to the right 3. So that would be a positive 3. Rise over run is giving me a positive 2 over positive 3. The y-intercept, we are down here at 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 4. So our equation is simply y equals 2/3 x minus 4. We're done. I need to switch pens here. All right, number 4. Looks like I've got a y-intercept at the 0. All right, I'm going to come down this way this time. It doesn't matter if you go up or down. Now, the steeper, we got to be real careful, all right, because it looks like it's going through right here. If you're not sure, all right, let's go the other way. It looks like we're right here. So let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so, okay, because the steeper your line is, it's a little more challenging to find that exact point. So look in both directions. I'm going to come down this way. So I went down 5, and then I came to the left 1. So that's a -1. Now I just did that intentionally because so my rise and my run are both negative. So I would have -5 over -1. That double negative is going to become a positive. If you count the other way, which you can, you're going to go up 5, which is +5, over +1. Again, we'll get +5 for our slope. The y-intercept is 0. Now, when we write our equation, y equals 5x plus 0, I'm going to tell you I don't want to see plus zeros. I don't want to see them. This is just y equals 5x. Okay, so please don't leave a +0 for a y-intercept. Now, the last two are our special, vertical and horizontals. All right, so our vertical line is going through the x-axis. All right, so I know my equation is going to be x equals. It's whatever the x-intercept is. So that x-intercept is back here at -3. So there's my equation, x equals -3. Now let's be reminded, the slope of your vertical lines are our undefined slopes. All right, that's undefined. The y-intercept, we don't have one. It's not intercepting our y-axis at all. So there is none. Our horizontal lines go through the y-axis. So this is going to be a y equals equation. All right, find your y-intercept, and that's up there at +5. So it's going to be y equals 5. What's the slope of a horizontal line? 0. What's the y-intercept? It's the 5. Okay. So I personally think it's easier with our horizontal and verticals is to write the equations and then go back and fill in the slope and y-intercept. All right, so this is what you're doing today, writing y equals mx plus b equations. If you need any help, come see me, but you should be ready to practice.